Hi again, Alex here. Last lesson was about voiced and voiceless sounds and how we pronounce ed at the end of past tense verbs. This lesson is going to be very similar. It's about how we pronounce the s and the es in plural nouns and in third person singular, present tense, all that, verbs. So let's get right on with the presentation. This chart is very much like the one in the last lesson when I talked about the pronunciation of ed at the end of past tense verbs. This presentation has us look at the pronunciation of s and es at the end of plural nouns and third person singular verbs in the simple present tense. I'm going to include both kinds of words in this demonstration. It doesn't matter if we're talking about nouns or verbs, the pronunciation rules are the same. The difference here is that there are several different sounds that require the vowel sound, the schwa, with the z sound in the third column here. The first one is just s. That's the sound we usually make when we spell something with an s. The next one is z. This, of course, is the sound of a z. Sometimes we spell this sound with an s, which is why I like to use the IPA. You always know what the sound is if you learn the IPA. This one sounds like j. That's the one that's usually spelled with a j. This one sounds like zh. It's the sound we make in the word garage or pleasure. This is the ch sound, and it's usually spelled with a ch, like church. That word has the sound at the beginning and at the end. The last one sounds like sh, like when you tell someone to be quiet. Shh. We normally spell that with an sh. I want you to notice that all these sounds have something in common. They're all made by putting your teeth together when you make the sound. So we need to use that vowel sound so you can hear the suffix and know that the word is plural, or if it's a verb in third person singular. If you don't add that schwa, you won't hear the s or es at the ends of these words. So let's start with this one. List. It can either be a noun or a verb. You can make a list of something, or you can list something. It doesn't matter for pronunciation. So let's just think about how to pronounce that s at the end of list. If you watched the last video, you should remember that the t sound is voiceless. I hope you also remember that I said we like to keep our voiced sounds together and our voiceless sounds together. Since t is a voiceless sound, it needs to go in the middle column. And the word sounds like lists. Let's look at another one. This one can also be a verb or a noun. You can tell a lie and you can lie. Do you remember that all vowels are voiced sounds? I hope so. The last sound in the word lie is a vowel sound. Actually, it's a diphthong. I. So where do we put this one? We put it in the first column. It sounds like lies. Did you hear that last sound? It doesn't sound like an S. It sounds like z. Lies. Next up we have listen. Be sure to keep that T silent. It's listen. But what about the last sound? The sound of an N. The sound is n, and it's voiced. So this one is going to also go in the first column. And it sounds like listens. Are you getting it? I hope this is easy for you. Next up, church. This one, as you know, is only a noun. You can go to a church, but you can't church. The sound of the ending is ch. This is one of those sounds that has to have the vowel sound. It just doesn't work to say church s or church z. we have to say churches. So churches goes in the third column. Churches. Practice it with me. Churches. Good. Here's a nice word, and it can be both a noun and a verb. This one has an S sound at the end of the word, a S. So this one is going to the last column. And the pronunciation of this word is kisses. Let's keep going. Next one, walk. I wish I could ask you in person where this one goes. The last sound is k. So we're going to put it in the middle column. It sounds like walks. You should be getting the feel for this by now. Let's do one more row. Bend. What do you think? D is voiced, so first column. I'm sure you got that one right. Picnic. You know, the last sound is k, so it's voiceless. It goes in the middle column. Picnics. You probably don't even need to hear how we say this one. There's only one empty space in the chart, and the verb is buzz. This one goes in the last column. It's buzzes. Got it? And that's it for voiced and voiceless sounds and how they determine the pronunciation of the suffixes ed, s, and es. That's it for this lesson. Next will be the difficult sounds from learners from various other languages. Bye for now. This is Alex, and remember to be kind to each other. See you next time.